I think Alex Karp is on the verge of losing his mind.
Despite what you might read at the New York Times,
Yes,
is
let's get into
actually
that.
the most secure, the hardest platform in the world to manipulate and change. Of course, any technology can be abused. But if you wanted to abuse the technology, if you wanted to use the deep state to unlawfully surveil people, the last platform on the world you would pick is Palantir.
I've been covering Palantir for years, analyzing every piece of communication from the company following Alex Karp's interviews. And what I'm about to read shows exactly why the CEO, Alex Karp, is so frustrated. This is their official who we are and what we do explainer, basically what appears to be a desperate attempt to explain what Palantir actually does versus what everyone thinks they do. I'm going to show you why I think this document reveals Alex Karp's frustration and how exhausted he is from fighting the misconceptions about Palantir. I'll also break down exactly why Alex Karp can't seem to get this message across and what he needs to do about it. Let's dive in. Palantir is still not a data company. Who we are and what we do. Palantir makes software which organizations use to better manage their data, improving their operations, and serve the people who rely on them. We're proud that essential organizations, including those delivering life-saving assistance, improving health outcomes, manufacturing aircraft fleets, and securing and defending the West, depend on our software platforms to deliver the most vital mission outcomes and further institutional trust within the communities they serve. Contrary to some media reports, we are not a surveillance company. We do not sell personal data of any kind. We don't provide data mining as a service. Palantir is a software company. Unlike many technology companies, our business model is not based on monetizing personal data. Instead, we develop and license software platforms that enable our customers to integrate and analyze their own data assets to make better decisions. Privacy and data security are fundamental to Palantir and have been built into the software's architecture from the very start. We make digital infrastructure that enables organizations to operate in complex data environments. We help our customers across the public, private, and non-profit sectors overcome common challenges associated with fractured data landscapes in which their data is split across different systems and formats. Our software provides our customers with the capabilities to integrate those data sources into a common platform in which they can build more effective data management, analytics, and operations. Many of our customers also use our platforms to build or deploy AI tools to further enhance their operations in responsible, reliable, and impactful ways. Palantir has a deep and long-standing commitment to protect privacy and civil liberties. We were the first company to establish a dedicated privacy and civil liberties engineering team over a decade ago, and we have a long-standing council of advisors on privacy and civil liberties comprised of leading experts and advocates. These functions sit at the heart of the company and help us to embody Palantir's value, both through providing protective technologies and fostering a culture of responsibility around their development and use. Transparency and engagement. We strive to be transparent about security and privacy controls in the technologies that we design, build, and deploy, publishing blogs, videos, documentation, and engaging at events. Anyone can sign up for our AIP platform, Palantir AIP, and test it out for themselves. In fact, we encourage this to see firsthand how our software works. Palantir's software is built at every stage to uphold, not undermine, legal and regulatory protections, as well as the ethics and standards that help institutions govern the appropriate use of powerful technologies. A key part of this is oversight. Our software features, among the complementary capabilities, audit logs and transparent data flows, which enable regulators and governance bodies to ensure that the software has been used legally and responsibly. In fact, it's the strength of these protections that underpin our success in the age of AI. These integral safeguards help to ensure that AI models can be used in a safe, controlled, tested, and privacy-protected ways. Wherever possible, we strive to provide tools which exceed the protections that the law requires. Our long-standing support of the US government. We are extremely proud to support key American institutions. These include long-standing contracts with agencies like the IRS and the NIH, where we have a history of excellence and the efficient delivery of essential digital infrastructure. Central to our mission is supporting liberal democratic societies and their allies by providing vital institutions with software that enables them to fulfill their responsibilities and maintain the trust of citizens they serve, a commitment that transcends political shifts and administrations. Each of these customers gets a unique instance of our software over which they have control. They define which data is integrated, who has access to it, and how it is used. Palantir does not have unfettered access to data our customers provide us, nor does it share, transfer, monetize, or otherwise use such data for its own business purposes. If any Palantir has temporary access to data, this is at the explicit instruction of the customer, who grants individual access to their instance software and assigns the permission necessary to carry out discrete technical tasks. This access is then revoked once the project is complete, enabling secure collaboration between organizations. Many institutions, including US federal government agencies, rely on our software because it helps them deliver effective and reliable outcomes. However, the fact that two agencies run on the same software does not imply generalized data sharing between them, just as the fact that two agencies both use spreadsheets does not allow them to access each other's spreadsheets. Where limited sharing or collaboration between agencies does need to take place, this is always directed by the agencies in question for a specific purpose, explicitly in accordance with our legal obligations, and protected by deep policy and technical safeguards. This is done to better meet the service obligations of the people for whom these institutions are responsible. Misconceptions can arise because our products are complicated, used in a huge variety of industries, often with confidentiality requirements and such nuance and technical function. This category of software is unfamiliar to the average person. However, it is absolutely possible to accurately describe it to people who are curious. The relative complexity of software is not an excuse for critics to trade on people's fears with false or misleading claims. These organizations have a responsibility to inform people and to allow them to make their own intelligent opinions. To support this, we are always willing to engage with the media and provide clarifications on any points of uncertainty. We just ask that these organizations seek the truth in good faith. Data integration and the modernization of software is an essential process that every functional institution must go through. The effectiveness of our democratic institutions, and therefore the upholding of trust in democracy itself, depends on it. We've been helping key organizations do this for more than 2 decades. So although Alex Karp probably didn't read that, it kind of sounds like him screaming into a void. This entire statement reads like a CEO who is absolutely exhausted from explaining the same thing over and over again. But here's where Alex Karp is probably pulling his hair out. Quick plug from me, I help businesses grow and scale their revenues using YouTube. In the last 12 months alone, I've helped 3 businesses get to 100K a month in revenue using YouTube. If you own or operate in a business, I have no doubt you could benefit from this. There's a link in the description below to book a call if you're interested. Cheers. You can feel Karp's frustration in every line of that statement. It explicitly says we're not a surveillance company. We do not sell personal data. Our business model is not based on monetizing personal data. The article mentions Palantir's privacy and civil liberties engineering team, their council of advisors, their audit logs, their data protection. Alex Karp has built every safeguard imaginable and still gets called Big Brother. Imagine spending over a decade building privacy protections into your software, creating oversight councils, and then watching a comedian like Theo Von tell millions of people your company is going to know if your kids have a lip. Alex Karp has done everything right from a technical and ethical standpoint, but he's completely failed at explaining it to regular people. No wonder he's frustrated. The article explained that 2 agencies both using spreadsheets does not allow them to access each other's spreadsheets. That's genius. It's the perfect way to explain what Palantir actually does. It's infrastructure, not data sharing. Each agency has their own instance, just like each agency has their own spreadsheets. This spreadsheet analogy could help change everything for Palantir. It's simple, relatable, and completely destroys the surveillance narrative. But where does put this brilliant explanation? In a corporate blog post that maybe 1,000 people will read. Meanwhile, millions of people think his company is building a dystopian surveillance system. Karp found the solution to his messaging problem and then hid it where no one could ever see it. Alex Karp and Palantir need to stop writing blog posts and start talking to real people. Alex Karp has found the perfect analogy for Palantir, but has buried it where no one can see it. Alex Karp needs to stop writing blog posts and start talking to real people. Here's what's driving insane. He has all the right answers, but he's delivering them in the worst possible format. While his company gets dragged on social media and comedy podcasts, Karp is publishing white papers and corporate statements that nobody reads. Alex Karp needs to get out of his CEO bubble and go where regular people actually consume information. Get him on Joe Rogan explaining the spreadsheet analogy for 3 hours. Get him talking to business podcasters about responsible AI deployment. Get him on comedy shows addressing surveillance fears directly. Look at what Trump did in 2024. He bypassed traditional media and went directly to podcasts where he could have long-form conversation. When people heard Trump speak for hours instead of just listening to sound bites, it actually changed people's perceptions. Imagine if instead of watching Theo Von spread misconceptions about Palantir, Alex Karp could actually sit down with him for an hour and walk through the entire statement we just heard. The spreadsheet analogy, the privacy protections, the oversight councils, all of it. Karp has spent over a decade building the most ethical, surveillance-resistant platform possible, and he's watching it get destroyed by memes and conspiracy theories because he won't leave his corporate communication comfort zone. I love Alex Karp. I love Palantir. This isn't just about PR anymore. It's about Alex Karp's mental health. The guy is clearly frustrated, and the solution is right in front of him, and it will change Palantir. Stop just writing blog posts that nobody reads and start having a conversation that millions of people will hear.